everybody. Welcome. So glad you're here. I want to say a big shout out of thanks to Wake Forest University Law School, Alumni Association, of course, Megan Ratley for organizing this webinar today and inviting me to present. As you heard, my name is Susan Sparks. I am a trial lawyer turned stand-up comedian and Baptist minister. I appreciate the courage that all of you have for signing up today. Today, what I want to do is share with you what I have learned over 20 years as a stand-up comedian, an ordained minister, and a trial lawyer, things that I think are relevant for your work in law and business, things that can help you do your job better and be happier doing it. This is the golden rule of comedy. The longer the setup, the bigger the punchline must be. Now, let me give you an example. You know how you get those email forwards from your friends that go, oh, this is so funny. And then you start scrolling and it takes you like a half an hour to get to the end of the email. And by the time you're there, you look like this little puppy, you're exhausted and you're asleep. You know, to put it in business terms, the more extraneous material you have, the less impact your point will have. You got to get to the point and you got to get there fast. I don't need to tell you that for better or worse, we are living, working, and speaking in a sound bite world. Now, you can fight that or you can leverage that. And I say we leverage it. I mean, here at our church, we're right flat front to Madison Avenue, and we leverage that soundbite world to get people's attention. So on our marquee signs, we put out little punchy signs that are either inspirational or funny or get people's attention, and people take photos, they go viral, and it sends them back to the church to maybe watch a sermon or or read a blog. Some of the signs include, what happens in Vegas is forgiven here. Here's another one. There are people who would love to have your bad days. Let's think about that for a minute. And my all-time personal favorite, honk if you love Jesus, text while driving if you want to meet him. Now, okay, fine, that may not be the most theologically sound point ever, but again, it made people laugh, it drew their attention, they circled back, and they started finding out more about the church. So again, you work it, you leverage the soundbite world. Let me share two very scary statistics. Number one, people will only remember 10% of what you tell them, okay? So you better decide what that 10% is before you walk in the room. Scary slide number two, statistic number two, humans have the attention span of a goldfish, literally. Recently, I read a study that Microsoft had done that studied the digital impact on the human brain, and the results showed that modern adults tend to lose concentration after, yes, 8 seconds. The study also included the fact that goldfish apparently have an attention span of 9 seconds. I don't know how they knew that, okay, but whatever. The bottom line is we are looking at a very narrow window of attention span. I'm not saying dumb down the message, okay, hear me on that. I'm just saying be selective about your material. You can say a lot in very few words. For example, the Gettysburg Address was only 272 words. Shakespeare's most famous sonnet, 114 words. Moses saved an entire race of people with 4 words. Let my people go. I guess it really comes down to making it easier for your readers and listeners to absorb information. I think Dr. Seuss said it best. The writer who breeds more words than he needs is making a chore for the reader who reads. Let me give you a real quick tip that I use on getting to the point. You have to be able to do a one-line summary, no matter if it's a jury argument, a board meeting, a speech, a keynote, a presentation, a sermon, anything. You've got to be able to do a one-line summary. Back in the day when I was an in-house counsel at Citibank, one of our former Citibank chairmen said this: we cannot be selling anything that we can't explain in one sentence. And there it is. We've got to be able to do a one-line summary to laser focus the audience and the argument so that people remember.